Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Marisa, and I'm bringing this to you live today. I'm so happy to be here. This was somewhat of an impromptu session for me, and when you see the recording, if you see the recording, you're going to see all the intricate mess ups. This is my first live stream here on YouTube, and I'm so happy that you're here. And so I wanted to introduce the topic of the solar or the lunar eclipses, or the lunar eclipse, the eclipse that's happening in the full moon in the next few days. And the thing with eclipses is that it's kind of like you feel and you see them coming kind of from a distance before they're happening. And then all of a sudden the shock waves begin to hit you, and then you're in it. And for me, I can talk about the astrology a little bit, but really I love to actually just observe the energy of the time, just kind of think back over the past week and then the week preceding around eclipses, or around the full moons and the new moons, is when eclipses happen. And the full moon is the time of a lunar eclipse. And when we think of the full moon is that time of release. No matter where it is in the year, no matter what astrological sign that it's in, the full moons are all about letting go. They're all about, it's almost like just letting that exhale take place, the deepest exhale that you've exhaled. And in that time of release, there's something that is regenerative about the release. And in order to release, sometimes that takes a little bit of preparation. Sometimes we know that we're letting something go long before we let it go. And then sometimes nature, the universe, your higher power comes in and helps you to actually step in and release that thing in your life that you need to let go of. And so when I say release, this can be metaphorical, this can be physical, this can be emotional. Ultimately, it's happening on many levels, and it's happening simultaneously. And so in this time of my life, it's the release that is happening. Like I said, I like to look at my surroundings. Yes, astrology is important to me. And I also like to just feel the time. And right now, the release or the letting go that's taking place is happening actually in nature around me. And it's been kind of an intense few days. And I think it's really interesting that it's happening right around this eclipse. And so what's happening in nature around me is that fires have been taking place. Fires and just a lot of physical roadblocks, happenings that are actually blocking pathways of, you could say, physical communication in the neighborhood that I live, on the highway where I need to come on and off to get into the city to go to my work, stuff like this. And then the fires that have been taking place have uprooted a lot of people. I was on watch to possibly be evacuated from my own home. And luckily that didn't have to happen, but some people that I know, some friends of mine and wider in the community, they did have to leave their homes. And so in this time of eclipse, although sometimes eclipses, there is a strong medicine to them. And sometimes we don't really understand what that medicine really is until sometime down the line. And oftentimes what ends up happening during eclipses, no matter if it's a lunar or a solar eclipse, there's something that happens today or happens in this time of the eclipse that we don't really see the actual results for about 6 months. And so we can be intentional during this time. And also, it just so happens that whatever is kind of happening now, whatever release or whatever seeds that might be being planted at this time, oftentimes they take a little bit longer to be seen kind of in our reality. Now, although all this uprooting energy and like the fire energy, which is a complete letting go, it's a disintegration, right, of the earth and the plants, and affects people and the flora, the fauna, the animals, the insects, everything is affected. The smoke in the air. It is in all of that happening at this time of the full moon. There is that part as well. There is what's taking place in the present moment. And then during this time, there may be an effect that we will be seeing for some time. Some people actually did lose their homes, for instance. And that could be affecting them for the next, who knows how long, but definitely probably for the next 6 months. And so what the ethos, or what is kind of common during the eclipse season or the time of the eclipse, is to really pay attention to what's happening now. And it's not so much plan for the future, it's just kind of look into that future self and imagine, see, visualize, reflect. What do you see for yourself 6 months from now? For instance, I'm starting a live stream in a time of the eclipse, and maybe within the next 6 months, I have a regular YouTube schedule where I'm doing lives, for instance. This is the type of thing that I'm talking about, is that eclipses have this initiating style of energy. And by the way, thanks. Oh, hey, Tata, thanks for sending your love. Yeah, if you have any thoughts, or if you have any well wishes, or what's going on in your life, let me know what's going on in your life and what's happening for the eclipse, and also what's happening for the next, what do you imagine for yourself in the next 6 months? And it's not so much even like planning and getting really in the nitty gritty around that. It's really about visualizing, seeing, writing down. If you could just tunnel vision yourself for some time and see into the future, literally, what is being let go for you to step into that version of yourself that you know is waiting for you? What fear is getting in the way of you actually stepping into that version of yourself, and how can you actually step into that in a more courageous way? And sometimes these questions sometimes it ends up just kind of happening sometimes for us, and we can also be intentional. So I wanted to bring up, I do have this book that I created. It's called Lunar Rhythms. And in it helps you, it guides you through that practice that I'm talking about. It just helps you to get in alignment with the energy of the moon. There's also space for you to reflect on this very thing during the eclipse time. It's very potent. It's very like tangible. And sometimes there's an eruptive quality around it. Emotions are heightened, especially around a full moon, and just like crank up the volume a little bit around the intensity of a full moon during an eclipse. Now, what that means, the yogis, for instance, and many ancient cultures, this is actually more of a time of inward reflection. And it's really interesting for me is that I did not plan on doing a live stream today. I had a full schedule of clients. And then because of the road closures in my area, I had to cancel those and move them to a different day. And that's what I mean. And that brought me inside of, why don't I step into something new or something that I've been wanting to, and initiate this for myself, which is doing these live streams. So it's funny how, again, there's an unexpected sometimes quality, especially right now, there's an unexpected type quality in the air. And it's like we can use the energy of this time to step into that next version of ourselves, or that the thing that we've been waiting or wanting to do. I've been wanting to do this, and it just hadn't happened, and today is the day. Again, I also have a free download of this. It's the exact same thing, so you can get it for free. You can also purchase it on Amazon. I'll put that in the show notes, and you can reference that. It's just Lunar Rhythms, a guidebook through the phases of the moon. And I hope you get your own copy. Okay, so let's begin. You're going to see me kind of dabbling with all my little instruments here. And we're going to light this, even though there's been a lot of fire in my area. We're going to light this candle, light this flame. And as we light this flame, you can begin to really ponder or feel. I'm going to invite you to feel into the energy of this time for yourself. Maybe take a moment, close your eyes. Take some nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Begin to feel yourself connect. And I personally like to connect with the earth. I'm just going to light this Palo Santo. And just do a little clearing with smoke. So again, if your eyes aren't closed, go ahead and close your eyes. And begin to breathe. Just begin to breathe that nice, long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. And exhale. The exhale can come out through your mouth, and it can also come out through your nose. And fully receive. Fully receive this blessing of life that we are breathing today. Receive this blessing of smoke, of purification, of renewal. Take another long, slow, deep inhale, and as you inhale, really fill up your lungs. Beautiful. Good. And I'm just realizing I wanted to use music, and I'm going to see if I can figure that out. I don't think I will be able to. Not this one, at least. See, and this is all the ways and all the things that we get to learn along the way when we start and initiate ourselves into the new beginning that we are initiating ourselves into, and letting go of how we think it should be, and just stepping into what is. And what is it's my first time using this technology in this way. And although I prepared and I got the music set, right now in this moment, I can't find it. All right, so we're going to start this Reiki. And I'm sending it to you from a distance. And for those of you who are not too familiar with Reiki, when I say I'm sending it to you from a distance, what I'm doing is I'm activating a symbol that sends it to you from the distance. So why I love Reiki is that there is no time and space, or there's a possibility to send this energy across time and space. Okay, so if you missed the first few deep breaths, go ahead and begin to breathe. Take a nice, long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. I'm going to do it with you. So nice, long, slow, deep breath in. And then exhale. Shh. Going to do that again. Remembering that your breath is clearing. Sometimes when we do these intentional eclipses and full moons and new moons, it can get a little bit heady. And I try to eliminate some of that by not giving too much information, just enough. Remembering that in your exhale, you are letting go. In every exhale that you take in every single part of the day, whether you're conscious of it or not, there is a letting go that's taking place. So sometimes it's like when you don't know, I don't know what I'm releasing. Just connect with your breath. And on your next exhale, you will release something. And during that time, you may feel a shift. You may feel the opening that's taking place. And what's beautiful about that is that at that moment, you can then fill it. You can fill it with the prana, fill it with the love, fill it with the light, with Reiki. All right, so nice full deep breath in. And we're going to do one more. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. Really fill up your belly. Bring that breath up into your heart, up through the throat, the third eye, the crown. Maybe hold it at the top. Beautiful. And for those of you who are just joining, welcome. This is a full moon lunar eclipse time. And this session, this Reiki session, is coming to you to help you move through whatever unexpected energy is taking place in your life. You may have to watch the replay to hear about my unexpected journey today and the past few days. And really feeling into this moment for yourself, using this Reiki to get clear. Why I love Reiki is because it offers clarity. The reason why it offers clarity is because it's coming from a higher level of consciousness. And that higher level of consciousness has everything to do with love. And so when we connect to that love, we make different decisions. We get clear on what's important. So during the session, I may be talking and then there will be periods of silence. And I'll share again, one of the things that I am letting go in this moment is the self-consciousness of doing a live stream. Letting go of some things that I feel like I'm missing, which is I had my music ready, but I don't know how to find it now. Just letting go and allowing that this moment is enough, this energy is enough, that this presence is enough just as it is. And what I see for myself, what I'm stepping into, is that this is the first live stream that I've done on YouTube. And with eclipse energy of full moons, it's the letting go, right? It's that full release of comfort, let's say, with recording it, having it pre-recorded. And then stepping into that unexpected live stream action and maybe doing that on a more regular basis. So this is the practical ways we can use the full moon energy. For myself, I'm giving you that example for myself, is that it's interesting to me that this is happening during this period of the eclipse season, unplanned, and yet the energy is ready for me to step into that and maybe to do it on a regular basis. So that way, in the next 6 months, I have a regular, let's say, schedule of it. And so going inside for you, what do you need to let go for you to step into that new version of you? And how can you use this time, the energy of this time, to step into that version of you that you know is waiting for you, that you know is ready to take place? All right, so I'm going to cut some cords. And these cords, when I think of cords, they are energetic, but sometimes they're physical. They're thoughts, they're thought forms, they're behaviors, they're patterns. And during a full moon, this is a wonderful time to dissolve cords and connectors. And I see cords and connectors as attachments to the past. Sometimes these cords and connectors have kept us safe. And so there's a reason why they're there. And sometimes they're there because of trauma. Sometimes they're there because of behaviors, patterns, addictions that we have. And we're ready to let those go and step in again into that new version of who we are and really claim who we are. For some of you who are here, you know a little bit of my story. And one of the first times I was asked to speak at a meeting, it was during a full moon, and I had to let go of a type of identity. I didn't plan it. This is, again, the universe showing up right on time, not in my time, to support the energy of letting go. And speaking at a meeting, what that means is that I shared my experience, my strength and hope around recovery. And in doing that, part of me was healed. And the letting go that took place was that my addiction didn't have so much of a stronghold in my life. And every time I got to share, and every time I get to share my recovery, something is strengthened, right? My recovery is strengthened. It's the same with Reiki. It's the same with actually stepping into the version of ourselves that are, through stepping into that new version of ourselves, or the version of ourselves that we want to be stepping into, it strengthens the part of us, that the soul part of us. It strengthens who we know that we are, but also have to let something go. Sometimes letting go happens by taking the action. And so sometimes it's not this thing like I must let go and then I must do this thing. Sometimes it's through doing the thing that something is let go. And so what are you stepping into? Even though you're scared, even though you have fear, what are you stepping into? And how is this energy right now? What's happening in your life? What's going on in your life where it's almost it's in a way, it's kind of clear. Sometimes these things are big. They're ends of relationships. It's letting go of a work dynamic, or getting a new job, letting go of an identity that you might have that's associated with a location, a person, a place, a thing, a role. And so the energy asks us, okay, what's happening now, but also in the next 6 months, what do you see for yourself? What's not part of the picture? Right, so I'm going to actually do a couple little more deep releases here at the crown, just to support you letting go and opening up to source, opening up to the divine quality that is within you, that you are. Good. Take some nice, long, slow, deep breaths now. Feel that thing that needs to settle, settle. Good. I'm just going to add a little softness here now. And this energy, during this energy session, or this Reiki session, you can use the session as a way to get clear. And I suggest journaling. I suggest writing things down. Just asking yourself for that clarity. What do you envision for yourself? What do you see that you want in your life? I recently actually got married, and my grandmother sent me some holy water. So I'm going to use a little holy water in this session today, just to bless the space, bless you, to bring in that quality of water, of purification, of prayer, of gratitude, of thanks, of union. And I'm going to add a little bit of lavender water. Lavender is great for the nervous system. And just allowing you to soothe the nervous system in these times of change, because oftentimes during eclipses, some change will happen. It could be immediate. And again, if you looking back 6 months from now, you'll see, whoa, sometime during August, end of August, something happened. And I made a decision then. It wasn't quite clear, but some decision was made. And I now see the fruits of that. And so this will be after the new year that you may see some fruits of what you put in motion today or throughout this week. Just sealing that part of our practice. So we're going to move on into actually the throat. I feel in myself a lot of congestion. You might even have to clear your throat. I have this really beautiful kyanite crystal. It's one of my favorite crystals, kyanite. I find it does something. It's almost electrical in my nervous system when I hold it. But the color is blue, which is the same as the color associated with the throat chakra. It's also balancing and just harmonizing to all the chakras, but I just find when you need a little bit of clearing, a little bit of courage, and also the deep listening that happens at the throat. Sometimes we think that it's our voice to be heard, and sometimes that's true. But during the moon cycles, especially the full moons and the new moons, the throat chakra is best used, if you will, through listening. Listening to what truly are your next steps. And it's coming clear to me, I wanted to share, is that part of this initiation phase, doing the live streams, all of what I'm initiating today for myself, that I also want to be on a regular basis teaching this to the world, is teaching people how to be an energy work practitioner, how to be a Reiki master. And so I'm stating that, and you're hearing that right here as we move into the throat chakra. That became clear for me. So as we move into these different energy centers, as they clear, you can get clear as well. So I just want to share that as it's happening live in real time. I didn't actually pre-plan that. It became clear, just became clear. And then in doing that, my next steps are speaking that, saying that. I listen to the guidance, and sometimes it comes in that fast. And then how you move out into the world with it will be through communication. Or how I move out into the world with it is going to be through communication. And then creating the space for that to take place. And I have taught many times, but I haven't taught in a regular way Reiki. And that's what I am stepping into. I'm going to let go of the fear around that. I'm going to let go of all of the sort of inner judgments that I might have, all these sort of hang-ups that I might have around. Basically, it comes down to fear that I have. But it's the thing that comes the most naturally to me as well, is sharing what I have learned and helping others to learn the exact same thing. And that being said, when I learned Holy Fire Reiki, I was already a Reiki master, but I did the Karuna Holy Fire ignitions. And when I received that, everything changed for me in the sense of how I felt energy, how I communicated with my higher power, how I actually wanted to share this more widely. It became very clear to me at that time. At the same time, I needed to integrate the energy as well. And I've been doing that. And that's why I even have a Reiki channel. All of this happened after I received that particular attunement. And the fire quite literally was lit within me to share this practice in a bigger way. And so maybe there's something for you that you also want to share, and you see yourself really stepping into that and it being regularly happening within the next 6 months. When you see me kind of waving the crystals and doing some of this, I'm drawing the symbols that are associated with the Holy Fire system. And so those are like energetic patterns. I like to think of them like herbs in a way. Each symbol is kind of like an herb, and then there's like the collection or the herbs that you put together into a formula. Together they create like a formula and have an effect together. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, right into the throat. And exhale. Good. Just going to take a little sip of water. The water is also clearing. You may hear my dog kind of bark right now. She's on the other side of that door. Her name is Ananda. Nanda means bliss. All right, so we're going to move right into the heart center. Maybe just place your hand right on your heart. Take a nice, long, slow, deep breath in. Exhale. Remember that every time that you breathe is an opportunity to clear, especially when you bring focus and attention to it. So this energy is coming right into your heart. lifting any cords and connectors to the past, lifting any sort of trauma that has happened around the heart, whether it's physical, emotional, even psychological. I know that sounds funny, like we associate our head with, not with our heart, but we hold so much at the heart. And sometimes it's the head that blocks us, right, from tuning into the heart. I don't even know if that, what I just said makes sense, but I think it landed for somebody. So we're going to just send this energy right to the heart, the physical, the mental, the emotional heart, the spiritual heart, and also the home. What's coming up for me right now is really, it's like the home, the heart being the home. And when we are displaced, we can come back to, there is a center point that we can come back to, and that is the heart. And that takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of focus, a lot of faith. And so it is a spiritual practice actually in and of itself to return to the heart. And what does returning to the heart mean? Returning to the heart means coming back to that place of spiritual guidance, of connection to your higher power. But it's really in this place of love. Sometimes I see the heart chakra like a kind of like a diamond, many faceted. Go ahead and take another nice, long, slow, deep breath into that space, that multifaceted, multidimensional heart space. Fill it up, let it expand in all directions, all around you. Hold your breath at the top and then exhale. And we're going to do that a couple more times. So it's a nice, long, slow, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, it's kind of like a pressure release valve. I'm going to switch out my crystals here. I'm going to use a little rose for the heart. Go ahead and take a nice, long, slow, deep breath and really focus on, it's like the four corners of the heart, but then above and below and within. So it's like a 7-point inhale into the heart. And so ask your heart in this place, now that we've let go so many times now, what wants to be released? What part of you doesn't need to come further? In this moment, in this very moment, what part of you gets to be released? We can say thank you and have gratitude for everything that it's done to get us to this very exact moment. But it's done its job. It's done its work. And now you're stepping into that version of you that you know that you are. But to do that, you have to let something go. And that takes courage. I'm going to do that, this whole letting go, in a really peaceful way. In a calm way. In a loving way. Loving to ourselves and loving to others. Good. Just going to hold my hands here and directly Focus on the heart space. Kind of what's coming up right now is really stepping into that healed version of you. And sometimes when we've gone through massive trauma and we have a lot of wounds or ancestral healing and karma, like raise your hand, I'm raising my hand. Generational stuff, however you want to call it. We're stepping into the healed version of ourselves. And I don't think that there's ever necessarily a completion, but there is this point where there is a revelation, an inner revelation that you have what it takes just as you are to step into that place, into that version of you that you know that you are. Even if it feels cringy, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you're fearful amidst all of it, even if it's chaotic. And it's through that taking the next step that the path becomes clear. And so I hope you can feel, I definitely can feel this sort of expansive quality as we tune into the heart. Let your heart expand. Let your heart expand out before you. Let it be that compass and all around you. And as your heart expands, remembering that it blesses the space. And when I say space, I'm speaking of people, places, things, animals, plants, all of that, everything. And it's that ripple effect that as you take care of you, you're able to nourish, be a nourishment for life. You get to be a nourishment for life. All right, everyone, I'm going to seal this aspect of our practice. I'm going to just seal this energy, allow it to continue as we move on to the next phase. So we're going to work at the root for a moment. Just finding my root tool. So I'm just sending energy right to the root. And actually I'm going to switch. These raven feathers are new to the practice. And so we're sending this energy right to the root chakra. And just feel your energy actually root down into the earth. Might take a few moments, but breathe, close your eyes, focus. Oftentimes during these intense eclipses, new moons, full moons, right now we are moving through this full moon phase, things can feel way nebulous and ungrounded. But when you connect with the earth, connect with the root, you can kind of pull in the energy, pull in your energy. Ground. And then it's kind of like the storm persists around you, but you're in a grounded place. We're not trying, when the storm starts, when the chaos of life starts, we can try to control it, but more likely you will become exhausted. You may become sick during that process. It's best to actually focus on, bringing your energy back to you, stabilizing you, because really that's the only thing, if there is anything that you can stabilize. Thanks, Tata. Thank you for that. Congratulations. And God bless you. And yeah, all your projects in your home. I appreciate that. Thank you. And speaking of the root chakra, root is home as well. So I'm being kind of guided here to do another cutting, another cord cutting right at the root. So cords and connectors that are kind of limiting or getting in the way of you connecting to that earth beneath you. And this is the figurative. It could also be the metaphorical, and also the actual physical. So it's on all levels. But sometimes they're, even though we're using technology right now, types of technology can limit, your connection with the earth, sort of the busyness of the mind, chaos of the day, the environments that you're in. So it's really important to put your feet on the earth, quite literally. Get back to nature. Doesn't even have to be that long. I think 3 minutes, they say that your whole energy field changes when you just stand on earth. Nothing separating you and the earth, and you can have a whole new outlook in about 3 minutes just from doing that. And I know you have 3 minutes. We all do. So again, just kind of removing what's getting in the way of you taking care of ultimately you. Beautiful. Felt a nice letting go during that. We're going to add in a little, once again, this blessed holy water. My grandmother sent it to me. Thank you, Grandmama. Water comes from the earth, of course, and it is this earth. So this holy water has been blessed. So just blessing you, blessing your home, blessing your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. And then I'm going to add in this floral lavender water again. Blessing the nervous system, allowing you to feel connected, stable, whole. Yeah, the cord cutting is, same. It has helped me to reorient. This is Yoda the cat. What a great name. And when I use the scissors in the cord cutting, what's beautiful about Reiki is that it actually does it. And so the physical is definitely for the ASMR effect, but I also want you to know that any Reiki can also cut cords, especially if that's what your intention is. All right, everyone. So actually going to send this Reiki right now to your aura, the energy field. Some people call it the toroidal field. It's just the network of energy that's around you, but if you could imagine it kind of moving also through you and around you, it circulates. Good. Feel that energy. You can feel it's almost like it. If you could feel, we went inside and let that inside part of you feel sort of like expand around you. Good. And we're just going to do a little bit of clearing again. And sometimes usually during these, I have a little bit of things that I have planned, but most of it is unplanned. I feel into the energy of what it's actually being called for in this moment. And it just so happens that we're in this full moon phase, and full moon, and we've got this eclipse happening. So it's like a supercharged release. And through every single part of this session, what I feel is that there is a deep letting go of the past, the old version of you. And it's not maybe even all of you, it's like a part, it's a mindset, it's a pattern, it's a belief, it's I'm being reminded of pattern. It's an addiction. It's a connection maybe to an unhealthy aspect of you. And in this moment, if you want to use the energy of this moment, it is asking you to release that, to get the support, to get the help, take the steps to step into that version of you. All right, everyone. Thank you all for being here. If you were here from the beginning, then you know this is my very first live. For those of you who are just joining, we're coming to the downslope of this session, so you can watch it. You can watch the replay. But thank you for being here and blessing this space with me and allowing me to step into this version of me to support you. Then this is kind of how I believe it happens, is that it's a co-creation and we all help one another through our letting go and stepping in. And so again, let me know what you're letting go of, what you're stepping into. What do you see for yourself in the next 6 months? Visualize, see, write it down. And of course, I have the Lunar Rhythms. It's an actual book you can buy, or my free download. So go ahead and take a nice, long, slow, deep breath in. I'm going to do what I call the chakra breath. So just breathe into the root, your belly, your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown. Pause the breath. And then exhale. Do that one more time. Nice, long, slow, deep breath in through the root, the belly, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown. Hold the breath. Blessings to you. Thank you for being here. And we're going to just seal this practice with love. Blessings, friends. Namaste. Let me know in the comments. You can also send me a message through my website that letting me know that you were here. I'd love to know who you are. Let's stay connected. And like I said, one of the things I'm stepping into are doing these live streams. So, and also teaching Reiki more publicly in a more regular way. And so that is what I am stepping into, and what I'm letting go is the fear that I have around that. So blessings to you. Namaste, friends. Thank you. Bye for now.